All right, what's up, everybody? It's your man's Ken Jackson is the Ken Jackson Experience coming to you live today. I have finally shut down OBS Studio. I don't use it anymore. Picked up Streamlabs, and it works far better now that I figured it all out. And they have a mobile app. So, here, let me do a quick monitor real fast here. All right, what's up, everybody? It's your man. All right, that's good. That's awesome. All right, so check it out. We're talking about this war. And this is all my opinion, y'all. So, don't get your panties all up in a bunch and, get all emotional and shit. All right, because these are, like I said, my opinions, my show, so I can voice my opinions the way that I want to. All right, so anyway, I believe that this war was started for two reasons. The first obvious reason is to distract from the Epstein Files. We all know that the Trump administration has been doing everything they can to block the release of all the files, all the unredacted files at that. Even though Donald Trump signed into law that the files must be released. And his Department of Justice is still not releasing them, and he's not making any efforts to order them to release the files. So basically, he and his Department of Justice are breaking their very own law. And don't get it twisted. It's not the Democrats that are pushing so hard for it. The Democrats are pushing for justice for the victims, obviously. But MAGA took the lead on the release of these files because way back when, MAGA believed that there was this international cabal, or whatever you want to call it, orchestrated by the Democrats, and comes to find out that it's Democrats, it's Republicans, it's independents, it's whoever. It is a whole gambit of billionaires and millionaires who are running this organization. And don't think that because Jeffrey Epstein is allegedly dead or unalived, or however you want to say it, the algorithm's probably going to kick me for that, but don't think that just because Jeffrey Epstein is gone that the organization is mysteriously non-existent now, that it's fallen apart and nothing's going on. It's still going at full strength. Trust and believe. Jeffrey Epstein was just a vessel. This organization is far bigger than Jeffrey Epstein ever could have been. And Donald Trump, as we all know, is somewhere around the top. And he's their number one protector right now as president of the United States. So let me tell you, this position, him getting elected to the presidency, has protected him from all of his crimes. And basically has made it possible for him now to continue to commit crimes out in the open with no shame. No shame at all. Congress is fully compromised. There are a few holdouts, who mostly Democrats, but there are a few Republicans who don't play the Donald Trump game. The Supreme Court is compromised, even though they did rule against him a couple weeks ago in a major way in regards to the tariffs, but they've still given this clown immunity from prosecution because he's the president. And I don't think that's right. I don't think just because you're president, you should have any immunity from prosecution. In fact, I think because you're president and you commit a crime, you should be made an example of. You should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law with no reservations, with no prejudice. Donald Trump's ass is a 34-time convicted felon. He's an adjudicated sexual deviant. And as a veteran, I must say this. He's a 5-time draft-dodging coward. And he's sending our sons and daughters to war now to cover up his crimes, to continue to hide the Epstein Files. But there's one other reason that nobody's talking about as to why he started this war with Iran. Think about the timing. Pay attention, y'all. All of this is orchestrated. Donald Trump's next move is to cancel the midterm elections and eventually cancel the 2028 elections. Donald Trump is laying the groundwork to remain in power indefinitely. Call me what you want. Call me an alarmist. Call me crazy. Call me anything you fucking want. But pay attention to what I'm saying. If Donald Trump survives the next 3 years, and I'm not saying I'm wishing anything bad on him, but because of the fact that he's an old man and we all know his health is not great, Donald Trump's not planning on going anywhere. But he's also making preparations to handpick his successor. And y'all better pay attention to Barron Trump. Barron Trump is pure evil. And it's my opinion that Barron Trump is going to be Donald Trump's handpicked successor. There's a dangerous precedent being set, y'all. And again, like I said, call me crazy, call me a conspiracy theorist, call me what you want. I'm just reading the tea leaves, y'all. I'm calling it like I see it. I told y'all back in 2016, when he got elected the first time, that we were in trouble. And then when he lost the election after that for re-election, I said if he runs again and gets elected again, it's probably going to be the last election we see at least in my lifetime. And I still thoroughly believe that. I believe that I've seen the last election in my lifetime because I don't believe Donald Trump is going to allow elections to be held anymore. And I think it's going to be a long time before this country gets back on track. Mark my word on this date. What's today's date? Today's date is... What is today's date? It's the 5th or the 6th? Or the 4th? What day is it? March 4th. Mark my word, today, March 4th, 2026... Ken Jackson warned y'all. Donald Trump ain't going nowhere in 2028. And if he happens to leave us before then, it's going to be his hand-picked successor. And my bets are on Barron Trump as being the hand-picked dictator to lead this country into damnation. We are definitely... headed into dark times, people. We're not headed into dark times. We're in dark times. This war is expanding. It was just reported not too long ago that Donald Trump is going to end all trade relations with Spain because Spain said, hey, we don't support this war in Iran, so guess what? You can't use our military bases to launch any attacks. Your forces cannot operate from Spanish territory to prosecute this war. And I'm not mad at Spain. Donald Trump had him a little hissy fit in the White House today. As he's meeting with, I believe he's meeting with the German Chancellor today. And he always has shit to say about NATO, and NATO needs to pay 5%. Listen, NATO doesn't pay anything. No NATO members pay anything. There aren't dues paid. NATO contributes their forces and their land in support of the alliance. It was agreed that all NATO members would boost their military spending up to 2% of their GDP, to support NATO directly. And then Donald Trump, when he was in office the first time, convinced everybody to go up to 5% of their GDP. But listen, Donald Trump, you got to understand too that NATO accommodates us in their countries. Those bases there, they're not our bases. Those are NATO bases. We're just guests in those countries. Of course, you wouldn't know that because, one, you've never served because you're a 5-time draft dodging coward, which I'm always going to make very clear every time I speak. In fact, nobody in your family has ever served. Your entire DNA strain is littered with cowards. Your grandfather came to America as an illegal alien to avoid the draft in Germany. And in case y'all didn't know, Germany didn't want his fucking family back. He tried to go back and they was like, nah, stay where the fuck you're at. You can't come back here. So understand, Donald Trump comes from a long line of cowards and criminals. He's a product of his environment. He's only doing what he knows. He's only doing what he was taught. So for that, I guess I can't be mad. You know what I'm saying? I really can't. Hold on, I'm trying to fix this here. Got cables all over the damn place. But in any case, we're in some dark times here in the United States, y'all. And we gotta figure out what we're gonna do. We gotta figure out how we're gonna fix this because it's not gonna happen quickly. I think it's gonna take at least the next 25, 40, maybe 50 years to fix the damage that Donald Trump and his administration has done. There are a lot of people that need to go to prison. A lot of the critters need to be dragged out of the swamp. Because Donald Trump did do one thing. He did drain the swamp. I'll give him that. I will give him full credit for draining the swamp. But the only reason he drained it was so that he could dredge it out deeper and fill it up with a whole new cast of critters. Even worse than the ones that were there before. So that's that. You know what I'm saying? But in any case, what's today? Wednesday? Today's just Wednesday. Hopefully we'll see Thursday. Hopefully I'll see Thursday. I'm just happy to be here every day I wake up, y'all. I'm very grateful for my life. I've had a good life. I'm not complaining about life, but I am complaining about this fascist administration that we have that's leading our country to hell. And we all got to do something about it. Yo, let your voices be heard, people. Speak out, protest. Let's do whatever we got to do, but we got to get these people out of office. We got to get them out of our government. And personally, I think we need to get them out of our country. Yes, these are the people that really need to be deported, because they're doing nothing but destroying the fabric of this country. I'm your man's Ken Jackson. This has been my afternoon rant, because I didn't do morning coffee. I haven't done morning coffee in a while, actually. I'm going to be honest, I've been real fucking lazy. Haven't been feeling 100%, but I'm never feeling 100%. It's been a long time since I felt 100%, but I'm not going to let it stop me completely. I'm moving a little slower now, but I'm still here. All right, so everybody be safe out there. Be vigilant, because now your awareness needs to be extra high, because there are Iranian sleeper cells here in America, and we have to start, keeping an eye out, because don't think that they're just going to let it slide that Donald Trump has killed their supreme leader. And trust me, I don't miss that motherfucker either. I'm glad I didn't have to live under Iranian rule. Thank God I'm an American. And because I'm an American, I'm going to speak my piece. I'm going to voice my opinion. And I'm going to do everything I can to keep America strong. And that means protecting this Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Because right now it's the domestic enemy that's the biggest threat. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. I will see y'all next time. Enjoy the rest of your day. I got to find me something to eat. So, peace. I'm out.